Howdy y'all, this is Stone Hook in Orange, Texas. This is Wednesday night, about 10:30 at night. Termites been swarming so bad they finally calmed down enough. They won't be crawling all over me. But anyways, yesterday I opened that big old box of gift rocks from the dock. And I picked out 3 pieces here just to start on. I don't know, I've not worked no Brazilian agate with a Cortex on or anything. All I've had was some flakes before. But I don't know, I'm gonna try to biface this thing a little bit and try to keep that hole in there. It gets kind of thin down here, so probably can't go past. There's a crystal pocket right there too. They'll probably goof up that edge, so I don't know. I'm gonna try to make a blade with a hole in it. Ain't never did that before. I'm gonna warm up on these 2. Pick this one too. I reckon all that right there don't flake too good. It's like a Cortex, I guess. I'm not sure. It might flake real good. This slab's got a little bit of taper to it too, so I have to work a little more off of this side than that side. There's a go there. And shoot, that'll just be a blade too, I think. Big as I can get, it might wound up be this big in here. But I'm gonna start on no Georgetown, something I'm more familiar with. Get warmed up. Got a crack right there, so I won't count on that holding together, but I'm gonna start on this far end down here just to, dang, that rings like a bell. I'm gonna start on this end, and maybe the crack will give away. If it don't, by the time I get there, might be all right with it. I don't know. Gotta make sure I stay in the camera, because last night, there it went. I'm gonna think, why throw that down there? But last night after I opened that box, I did pick up that little Texas rock heat treated slab in there, a small one. And I picked it up and made a nice little blade out of it. I was gonna flute it and make a false one, but I didn't have the darn thing in the camera. About 90% of the time, only had half the point where my bopper was hitting and stuff wasn't in the camera at all. So I goofed that up. I'm just gonna try to zigzag my edge and get the working edge all the way around this thing. Hopefully that concrete doesn't get it off of this side, and this side will be clean. So we'll just have to see. That Cortex, I like to kind of, I don't know, it's hard to say, but just hit right above it. Don't really try to flake the Cortex unless you just want to knock some off like that. Kind of get out of your way, but to get your flakes, you got to be hitting a good chirp inside that Cortex pretty much. Missing. Ooh. Gotta calm down. Just kind of crumbled all in around that concrete right there. I think I only ever worked one heat treated piece of Georgetown before. I like it raw for the most part. Some of it though I have seen kind of grainy a little bit, or dry I guess you'd call it. Man, this stuff just flakes incredibly well. Golly, barely hit it, and it just traveled way farther than I expected. I'm gonna go ahead and set, got that little low spot right there. A good ridge right there to drive a flake right into there. And brush got the little lips right there. I'll brush them off a little bit. Well, this heat treated material just brushes them lips really easily too. I could hit that little ridge right there. I guess I will though, just to get my edge back over this way. I was gonna say I'd save it for later till I get down here and see what I get from this side, but oh, that stuff flakes nice. Look at that. Just so smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and hit another one there and just try to get to right there. I hit that too square and drove it right in there where it break off. Need to kind of catch up instead of working all the way down this side. I like to start working both sides back here and thin this in a little bit. Probably work down here and thin this in a little bit too before I get too carried away down in the middle. Yeah. It's that here, I'm gonna just kind of put my finger right in there because I don't want this flake to go too far over. I want it to just feather out like right there. So I'm gonna kind of put my put my finger right there kind of loosely where it should just feather out right under my finger. If you got too much pressure in one spot, it would stop that flake right there and break off. But if you just kind of loosely touch that flake to support it, come off very smooth. It went a little bit farther and bigger than I had anticipated though. This stuff just flakes really, really good. I need to start spacing my platforms out a little farther. Get too short right there, I think. We hit that little end right there. Boy, I like to hit too far up on there. You gotta take short flakes. I'm gonna move over and put my platform right there. See, it's got that next low spot. I'm gonna take a little short flake right here. That'll get me lined up for this. Put a platform right there. To take a short flake, turning that rock up like that. More Just catch it as it goes. Just barely catch this top surface as it goes by. Well, that wasn't quite. That was a little bit too small of a flake. That kind of was too. That's good. See, that kind of gives me a ridge running right in there. A big old low spot in the head. It's almost too low. See, it's right flat on that surface right there. So I'm actually gonna grind this top surface a little bit. Just take some little short flakes right there along that edge. See, I got my platform just a little bit higher up than that bottom edge, that flat spot right there. That's hard to explain that. Seems like it would be easy, but anyway, good way to say it, it was too low. My platform was too low, too close to that flat surface, so them little bitty flakes kind of moves it up closer to center line. Man, look. Yeah, boy, I'm really gonna have to start spacing my flakes out bigger than I had started. Started out spacing. This here, I just want to make a flake right there to kind of blend in. I mean, still got a ridge right there. I'm gonna go ahead and use this little spot to kind of bevel that a little bit more to this side where I can get me a flake right there. And then that'll open up more on down low. I think after I take that flake, I'm gonna move down here. Matter of fact, before I even get too carried away on this side, I'm gonna move back over here and catch this side up with that kind of. Hit and get too short. Now I'm back here where I was a while ago. I'm going to take a, oh, no, that was over here. But I was here a while ago at one point. I hit too short. Before I get too carried away right there though, I'm gonna come down here and start back on this and work my way back this way a little bit. I think there's a crack right there. It's right in that concrete anyway, so I'm probably gonna have to work past that concrete. There it went. I'm glad to go ahead and get that over with. I ain't gonna do much here, just get me a little, I'm gonna just work below that piece of concrete, get it out, plumb out of the point. I need to slow down though, I'm getting all, do that on the video, get kind of tensed up and act like I'm in a big hurry. And don't look at the camera to make sure I'm even in the camera. I hit too far up on there kind of. I hit too short. hit too short again a little bit. I really didn't have a good quite strong enough platform up there either. Sorry, I ain't explaining more. I'm just so focused on this rock. Weak piece of concrete right there too, but I think I can work past that. Okay, I still have plenty of room for a nice blade here. I don't know if you can tell that I am just really struggling now to even hit where I'm aiming. Ooh, I missed. Yeah, I need this plate to go over there. You can see them flakes right there kind of went in too flat. I'd like to clean that off right there. Well, it stopped right where them stopped, and I plumb missed to the left. Well, I guess my barrel's getting hot. My accuracy is going out the window. I get, I don't know, in front of this camera, I just get tensed up and don't relax during the swing. Missed to the left. Got a little booger right there close to the edge. Only got half the booger. Darn it. I hit a little bit too short. Run that in there almost too flat. I'm just gonna go around now and take care of any of these just big deltas like that right there. I'm just turning the rock up. Barely catches go by. Just take little short flakes on them. I ain't gonna try to run those flakes out there at all. I just want to clean up that edge a little bit. I do got a little extra mass right there I need to knock off of there. I missed to the left, but it worked. That little platform I'm trying to hit is almost right in there where I can't hit it. I got to be perfect to hit that little joker. Got it. Anyway, I'm going to stop hitting it right there. Heck, I want to mess it up. I really got a little more mass right there, though, and the shoulder needs to come off right there. Well, it just struck out. Hope I got it in the camera. Darn it, I'm hitting too deep or too short. And I crumbled that edge a little bit. I should have strengthened it up though before I tried to hit that. The more I beat on it, I think the more I get it out of whack. But see right there, I need to take a little bit off this edge and right there. I better quit. No. I just ain't never satisfied to find a point I'll just stop at. And then the farther I go, the more little mistakes I put into it. Okay, I just about got the top right there, except for you look at it, there's a little thick spot right there. I got that platform a little too strong and a little too steep, and that flake, well, somehow it feels pretty smooth right there, but I still got the thick spot. It went in behind the thick spot. And I got this platform too strong already too, so I'm just gonna hope for the best. I didn't like the way that felt. I got lucky there. So I'm gonna just leave it alone, call that the preform. It straightened it up pretty good. And I kind of overflaked it enough to make it a little bit rough here and there, but I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with the old wishy stick. I don't know what to say about this thing too much. This side's got pretty good contours to it. Got some ripples down the middle. This side here, it had these flakes kind of drove in too flat, and I didn't drive. I was probably hitting too short over here, just didn't get no flakes to come in and match them. So I'm gonna pressure flake this whole side first. I'll pressure flake down this edge first and get that extra mass off it, and try to blend in with them flakes right there. But what I'm planning on doing is setting up pretty strong platforms and try to push some big wide flake pattern out on this thing. I'm gonna go down, since I'm gonna flake this side first, I'm gonna just take some little short flakes, get rid of my little lips and create a bevel. Move my platform over a little bit to this side with a nice little bevel. The edge is pretty thin on some of them spots right there. That's why this little bevel will just kind of move that platform over, and it'll really strengthen this edge up. That didn't really do much, but it's starting to bevel. It ain't quite steep enough, really. It's just about right on center line right now, so I'm gonna take one more little pass. I'm gonna just lightly brush down on it with this grinder stone. Hit that top edge just a hair. That's a much stronger bevel now. I'll kind of do the same thing down this edge. I'm just gonna lightly, this one here is kind of, I don't know, it's about center line, so I'm gonna do the same thing I did on that other side. Just lightly grind it downwards and brush that top edge right there. That's pretty heavy bevel. Hard to see it, I guess. Now I'm gonna flip it over. I need to get me a new piece of grinding stone, a fine one. Get a little more coarser one. We're gonna grind down on it. Then grind it lengthwise. Real good and strong. That's good strong edge there. Same thing down this side. Just grind down on it. Grind it lengthwise. Make it good and strong. Not as strong on the tip. Them flakes don't have to go very far like these back here do. And since these flakes run in there flat, I'm gonna go down this edge first and try to, hopefully I push them flakes out there that far. And the key to getting them to go that far is good flake spacing. These flakes right back here don't really have to go so far, because that's kind of the same height as this stuff right here. So I'm gonna take another little short flake right there and move my next platform over. That's probably a quarter of an inch from where I took that flake to that flake. Maybe 5/16. I pushed inwards a little bit too much too soon until I got really to the thick spot. Now I'm just taking this short flake, another short flake, and move over about 3/8 of an inch. Boy, it just ran out right before it cleaned off that little ridge. It kind of broke though. I'm gonna go ahead and take this short flake, this short, one more. That one feathered in pretty good. Knocked a little bit of that off of there too. I do the same thing, just move my platform over with little short flakes like that. That released way before I was ready. I'm gonna try to seat the tool right there beside that, where that just released. I went over and just deep enough, but this here's gonna have to blend, make the blend in. That just kind of broke off right there too. You grind the edge a little bit. Kind of got sweet. I'm gonna try to push this flake right across there, let it kind of undercut that little where that one just broke off. It slipped. It kind of undercut it more than I was expecting. But after it slipped, I really bowed up on it. Got a lot of mass right there ahead of them flakes I need to start removing. And if I could just keep going like that right there, I'll be fine. Just move my platform over where this flake can be wide enough. If you get them too close together, they'll be trying to break off way more than they are now, right down through the middle there, wherever they terminate at. But if you spread them out like this, you got a lot better chance of terminating real smooth. I didn't really get as much mass with that as I'd like to. You get this kind of narrow flake went over the top. little bit of math left right there. I'm gonna try to pull up that ridge right there and get it. That worked out pretty good. Now I'm just gonna come back from this side and try to reach over there and blend in with them flakes. Kind of took too big of a chunk out right there. I'm trying to get them flakes to come over a little more of a diagonal, but they just ain't wanting to do it. I think because of the extra mass I'm trying to flake in, trying to get off right there. Just ain't letting me get an angle going yet. Get a couple of short flakes. See, taking them little short flakes in between there too really cuts down on the size of the deltas in between your flakes. Take a little, move that over a little bit more, like right there. That flake just kind of done let loose right before I was ready and went in there a little bit flat and didn't quite come off clean. And it throwed up a little hinge right over here where the next flake was going to have to run into that hinge. I'm going to hit that edge with the braider just a little bit so I can see it better. That cleaned up pretty good right there, but left that little booger. But it's no big deal. I'm happy with that right there. Heck, normally I'd have some big old boogers on there. I'm gonna move that platform over one more little flake. That right there. That released before I was ready, but it worked out pretty good. Turn it, that there didn't, I don't know what happened. It went in there and broke off where it's probably gonna be there forever now. unless I could flute it. Put me a little flute out of the middle there a little bit. That'll get it. I'm gonna really try to put some pressure right there, run right in beside it, and hopefully cut off part of it. I'm gonna get the burrs off my tip too. My tip's kind of flattened out there, I think. I need all the help I can get on this flake to try to clean that up a little bit. It didn't clean it up exactly, and that one broke off too. Well, that worked pretty good, except for the little divot in the edge right there. That shouldn't be too hard to straighten out, but the flake scar pattern came out pretty good. Except for a few little broken off spots there. But now, see, it's been going on 20 minutes. See, that edge has worked well back over here, so I can put me just a little. I can kind of just get rid of them lips right there almost. And my platform will be just above center or below center line enough if you flip it over this way and flaking. I'll have to run some flakes like that out on this side, because I think they'll travel better on this side than they did on this side. This side was really flat, kind of had a flat profile for them flakes that went in there flat, so flat. But really, this side has a pretty flat profile too, right through there. I mean, it's flat as a flitter almost. Anyways, I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick and come back and do this other side. So I'll be back. Well, okay, I'm back. I sure wish that edge didn't have that divot in there. I really don't know what happened there, but by the time I straighten that out, I'm gonna have to do a lot of. I'm gonna have to remove some of this edge. So I think what I'm gonna do, since them flakes come from this side, broke off that little bit, I'm gonna come right back down here, get rid of my lips, and reestablish me a little bevel, and rerun them flakes over there and try to catch them little broken off flakes from this side, because all that's got to come off there anyway, that little dip in there. So I'll be removing some of that edge right there. So yeah, I'm just gonna scrunch down to get rid of all the little lips right there. And I'm gonna just use my flaker to take a little row of flakes right here just to reestablish me a little bevel right there. This spot right there didn't want flake. That could probably be done with a shear. I just don't. I never did learn to control the shear very well. I guess I over shear too much. And It's got to where I didn't use a shear anymore. And it probably saved a lot of time on some of this little beveling action though. It ain't quite as strong a bevel as I had a while ago, but I believe I got the contours now. I'll follow that contour and feather out real smooth. I'm gonna start right up in here though, because that plate's kind of broke off from this side. Try to run up that ridge right beside it. Hopefully I go undercut it. Yeah, it kind of did. But it made a big old bubble of cushion, so I'm gonna take me a couple flakes and move my platform over to right here. This flake really needs to travel way over there and get that hinge right there. It kind of got the hinge, but it kind of made its own little hinge there too. I think it might be down here. I don't even know. Yeah, I guess that was this flake down here. Now just move my platform back over a little bit. This flake only needs to go like right there. It kind of hinged a little bit too. I'm about to get up there where I got that edge almost straightened out, so I need one more good flake right there. This platform just fell off there. Now I'm gonna come up here and do that same thing to that end. Since I'll straighten this out, that end, that tip needs a little more off right there. And crunch down, get rid of them little lips. Then we'll just crunch my bevel on his tip right here. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer as far as smoothness right down the middle at least. And it's really got a good profile now. So I'm just gonna lightly brush this edge downwards and get rid of some of them lips. I'm gonna look at it think it's just about center line again. So if I had just a smidgen of a bevel right across there, I gotta be able to drive in flakes real well. So I'm gonna scrunch it. Just do a light scrunch and look at it to see that's just about right. There's a couple of spots like that. And that. Scrunch this edge. See the scrunch, I got that rock just scrunching that edge at about a 45-degree angle. And the more pressure you put, I mean, you can really scrunch that edge off there and make a big old bevel on the other side. But it's a really strong, it'd be a really strong platform. So I'm just lightly scrunching it. Cause them little lips are pretty easy to grind over there. I believe that'll work for that. Just grind it real good. Pretty strong enough now where I can sink my tool on there. Well, book chaser tell me how the Dalton people, they work from the base to the tip, then the tip to base. And I've tried that a time or two. I would normally always start from tip and go back to the base, but I believe I'm gonna try the old Dalton technique. Or the Dalton sequence. Is not really the technique, I guess you'd say. It's just their sequence of flaking. That just slipped off of there. Move a platform over. Stick the tool right. I'm gonna take a couple little flakes and move that platform over. Them flakes are just on the verge. It's a little bit of mass right there they're running into. That's why they're breaking off like they did, but them will clean up from this side good. I think they'll start getting a little smoother on down this way. Hope so. That wasn't feeling right, and I was just fixing to put on the brakes, and it released at the wrong angle. I didn't get no pressure to push that flake out there at all. I'm gonna just try to seat right beside that. Yeah, I didn't have enough platform left to have enough energy to run that flake quite far enough out there to clean up. That just slipped. That's not a very good place to seat my tool right there. Darn if that didn't go back over there and break off a little bit too. That one did a little better because I really got better pressure on that, and I wasn't getting good pressure on them flakes right there. Flip. Need to hit that edge so I can see it and it help grip the tool. That went about too far. That didn't go as smooth as I would have liked it to. I just wasn't getting good pressure. My edge just ain't really all that good of an edge to see the tool on. I'm gonna just knock the burr off. It's getting kind of blunt. And trying to get this side all to match in. There'll be no problem here. Most of these flakes went come over there. They don't have to go nowhere hardly. But right in here, I really need to come past halfway. I think it's got the good contours. I can do it. Darn, that went too far. That didn't go quite far enough. Hey, come messing around here. I'm gonna press this one, try to press this one right in beside that one and clean that part of it up. Kinda got it. Darn it, hit them ripples and kind of stopped right at the ripples. I didn't press right hard enough. I was afraid to press too hard, but I didn't consider them ripples stopping my flake like that. I need this one to press over and get that little hinge right there. Yeah, it kind of cleaned up them, but it made its own little hinge over there, but it's a lot smaller, so I'll take it. Hit it again. Darn it. About stacking them up there now. That just slipped. That was a pretty heavy platform there, kind of thick. Well, that's the second side. It didn't come out as clean as I was thinking it might, but I guess them ripples in the middle kind of slowed it down more than I thought it would. And I didn't have a stronger platform than pressing quite as hard. It would have if I'd dressed that platform a little bit better. I think I would have had better success. But looking at that thing in the profile, I could almost scrunch this side back, I believe, and hit some of them little ridges right there and clean that up a little bit more. I don't know though. It's pretty straight like it is. Got a little bit of thickness still. Not really though. Profile looks pretty good. Just needs a little more edge work. It's been 20 minutes, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this edge up a little bit. Straighten out that tip, because that tip's a little bit off. Out here, I'm just gonna kind of hit the deltas a little bit. And try to make them flakes just terminate smooth. That edge ain't strong enough though to do nothing. Well, I'm gonna just call that it. Just probably use a little bit more edge work, but I don't like to get too fancy on them edges right off the bat here. Save that good fancy work for the first resharpening, because this edge right here will cut. Okay, I'm done. That was fun as heck. Kind of had my doubts about the heat treated Georgetown, but I think I love it. Get used to working it, makes a little bit stronger platforms. I think it'd just be so fun to work just like this was. I don't know if I can see them flake cars or not. And the profile kind of got a little bit of thickness on the edge, but I'll be back.